All right, all right, all right. You are welcome to this live stream, which is slated to help you and do less job. We are here to handle both the objective and the theory questions for NECO Mathematics 2025, of course. Endeavor to watch till the end and then ask your questions. So I'm going to be handling both the yeah. So these are the questions that will take us through. If we can't complete it, we might probably continue next tomorrow. But make use of this wonderful opportunity. Then ask your questions where necessary. Okay. We just want to relieve you. Solve few of the objective questions and just go to the theory questions. And then your interaction is very important to the success of this live stream. To remind us again, for those that have not visited before, you are watching Majestic Tutorials, where top educators deliver simplified lessons across major art and science subjects, a true hub of expert teachers and impactful learning. Majestic indeed. As you enjoy the class, don't forget to subscribe and share with others. So, we are going to be focusing on the displayed questions. We have the objectives, then we'll go to the theory. I'll just do few of the objective questions. Okay. So we have you're welcome. So looking at this one, they say decrease 120 by 25%. Okay. How do you intend doing that? They say find the product of this and this. Okay. They are in different bases, and in products you have to reconvert and come back again. And this is the theory questions that will be there live. Your job is to listen very, very well. Okay. So we are here to learn, of course. We are here to give you the final revision and displaying the questions so you can see them. And even these ones might continue the next day. All right. Please ask your questions where necessary as I move on. Looking at this first one, I will be writing direct. I will be solving it here. Okay, we have, they say decrease 120 by 25%. What we're going to do first is find the 25%. What number represents 25% of 120? You got that? So what number actually represents that? You just say 25 over 100 times 120. That is what percentage gives us that. So when you look at this, 25% means 0.25 if you do the division here times 120, and this will give us, of course, but let me confirm from the calculator department. We have where is the calculator? Okay, here we go. 0.25 times 120 is 30. So I was correct. So 30 is the number that represents 25%. So if you want to decrease 120 by 25%, it implies that you have to minus 30 from it. And this is giving us 90. So looking at the options, the correct answer there is C, 90, right? Then the second one says find the product. Remember, I'll handle the theory questions also. Find the product of 101 base 2 and 11 base 2. Okay, So we will first of all convert to standard base to decimal, that is to base 10. Make sure everything is in base 10. And then come back again. We go by 10110, all in base 2 to x base 10. How are we going to do that? We will simply number here 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, and in this move, we have 1 times 2 raised to power 4 plus, meaning if you use 1, all these digits, you will use it to multiply this base. If it is base 3, you do the same, but this is base 2. So 1 times 2 raised to power 4 plus 0, of course, this is automatically 0, plus 0 times 2 raised to power 3 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 2. You have to be careful, even though it's simple, but you have to be careful, plus 1 times 2 raised to power 1, then plus 0 times 2 raised to power 0, plus 0 plus 0 times 2 raised to power 0. Remember that every number raised to power 0 is 1. So looking at this, we have 2 raised to power 4 by 1 is 32, if I'm not mistaken. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 2, 8 times 2 is 16 times 2 is 32. So we have 32 plus, okay, plus 0, of course, plus 1 times 2 raised to power 2, 4, plus 2, then plus 1. So looking at this, we have 36, 30, this is 36, 38, 39. So we have 39 plus, we convert 11 to base 2 to base 10, that's 0, 1. Just soon I'm going to enter into the theory questions. So we will have this, as usual, 1 times 2 raised to power 1 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 0, which will give you 2 plus 1, giving you 3. So 39 plus 39 times 3 should now be what? 39 times 3 is, let's check. No. So we will look at okay. All right, welcome back. There is a, so there is a, this number is getting too high than is supposed. The number is too high, of course. It's not, this is 2 raised to power 4 is not 32, please. All right. 2 raised to power 4 is not 32, rather it is 16. So I'm going to correct it here. So this is 16, so that we will have our final answer as 16 plus 4 is 20. This should be, let me take it easy here. 2 raised to power 2 is 4. Then this is 0 also, because this is 0. The last number is 0. Even 0 times 1 is still 0. Yeah, that's the correction there. Remember to ask your questions. Plus 0. Plus 0, of course, so that we have 22. Yeah, so 22, this conversion is correct. So 22 times 3 22 times 3 is 66. Remember, this is 6 base 10. Then it's time to convert 66 base 10 to base 2. Okay? So we now do our normal conversion. This is 66. 2 divide 66 will be 33. Of course, remainder 0. 2 divide 33 will be 16, remainder 1. Then 2 divide 16 will be 8, remainder 0. 2 divide 8 will be 4, remainder 0. 2 divide 4 will be 2, remainder 0 still. And then 2 divide 2 is 1, remainder 0. And then 2 divide 1 is 0, remainder 1. So when we count up, we have 1 0 0 1 0 0 0, okay, into 4 1 0 base 2. And looking at this, option A have it correct. Okay, we move to the next one. Say express this plus this and that. So we have, this is just to convert to fraction. This is easy. Number 3 is convert this, the whole number is there 5. Remember, it is 0. It is very simple. If you have 2 zeros below, just take it up. What do you have? 0 point, you count, look at the 2.0, and we have 1 2. You move this point 1 2, that means 0.02. Okay, then plus, you convert again to this 0.003 plus 0. How many? 1 2 3 4 5. So 0.1 2 3 4 and 4. So if you sum all these things with your calculator, you find the actual number. So that should be 0.02 plus 0.003 plus 0.000 into 4, and we now add our 5. It is increasing. This one added to this one, added extra 4. Okay, let's go. So we have 0.2 plus 0.03. That's 0.03. No, 0.02. Guess this should come here so that I will be seeing the thing I'm punching. It's better this way, yeah. Oh, sorry, didn't know this has changed in dimension. I hope the alignment is okay now. All right. So looking at what I'm punching, that means 5 plus 0.02 plus 0.003. Remember not to waste much time doing your objectives, okay? Else they will give you less. It's your theory that you focus on. I have 4 of them. So we have 5.023, 5.02304. Option C is the correct answer here. All right. The next one is a simplification of surd. We need to expand. I got to clean off some of the thing I've written so that you can see well. Remember to ask your questions. So here we have 2 root 5 divided by, you have to factor the denominator to place the denominator and numerator in the same similar root. So 2 root 5 is the same thing as square root of 2 times 5, because 2 times 5 is 10, which is the same thing as 2 root 5 over square root of 2 times square root of 5. You can now cancel, square root of 5 cancels, so that you'll be left with 2 over square root of 2. You now rationalize the surd by dividing both sides by the square root of 2. Root 2, not square root, don't mind me, root 2. Don't mind my language. 2 over root 2 times root 2 over root 2. So when you look at this, it becomes now, which will give us 2 root 2 over root 2 times root 2. And root 2 times root 2 is 2. So we have 2 root 2 over 2. So the answer is root 2. The correct option is C. So 4 is C. Remember, you are watching Majestic Tutorials, where we'll give you the best in terms of tutorials on science. Let's see some questions in theory before we can now come back. Okay. Now we look at this. This question says that P varies directly as the square of Q and inversely as the cube of Z. When P is 5 and Q is 3, Z and Z is 1, find the relationship between P, Q, and Z. Then I say the value of Z when P is 3 and Q is 5. So the sum, okay, we'll look at that number 1 holistically. Mathematically, we have the statement. Here is where you have to interpret your statement. Remember that direct proportion, if I say A varies directly as B, I'll write it this way. But if I say that A varies inversely as B, I'll write it this way. And you must introduce sign of constant for you to understand. Okay? So now, in this case, I think, let me check the alignment. Okay. That's cool. So in this case, we will interpret it here. If I want to introduce constant, I will now remove sign of proportionality. So which will now imply, according to their statement, we will be working with the letters P, Q, and Z. Let us see the relationship between the three letters. They told us that P varies. This is sign of vary. Directly as square. This is Q square. And the same P varies inversely as cube root of Z. Now, to interpret this, it is the same P that varies that way. This implies that P varies directly as what? Q square times, oh, I did not represent the inverse variation. What is this? Is 1 over cube root. Yes, because that is the inverse. Then times 1 over this. When you do this, it shows that P varies directly as Q square over, of course, when you multiply out to get this. To introduce the sign of constant, it means that P is equal to K Q square over cube root of Z, such that K alone, KQ square is equal to PZ cube. Then to make K stand alone, this implies that I will divide both sides by Q square, divide both sides by Q square. So the relationship between them is that anytime we multiply P with Z raised to the power 3, dividing it by Q square, it will always give us a constant. That is the relationship. Then they said the value of Z when P is 3 and Q is 5. So you carefully substitute values now using, having made the fact that PZ raised to the power 3 over Q square is a constant. This implies that, just like you know in your Boy's law, it implies that P1 times Z2 cube over Q1 square will also be equal to P1 times Z, sorry, this should be 1, what's wrong with me. P1Z1 raised to the power this will also be the same thing as Q2 squared. So we have already had a fact. The first known values, they have made it that the first value is P is 5. So here our P1 is 5 times our Z is 1. 1 raised to power 3 is still 3 over Q. Our Q here is 3 squared. And 3 squared is 9, of course, which is now equal to, you do the same thing here. They gave us a PQ telling us to find Z. Very, very simple. Please, there should be cube roots here. So P in the second one is 3 times, you get that, Z raised to power 3 over the second Q is 5 square, which is 25. All right. So when we multiply out the values, we will have that. We will have that 5 over 9 is equal to 3Z. Gotta be careful here. Yes, 3Z cube over 25. This means that, permit me to continue here. Maybe I can lift the solving. Maybe let's lift and come up here. Yeah, so we will continue at this point. This implies that when you cross multiply now, there should be cross multiplication. It will imply that 9 times 3Z cube is equal to 5 times 25. All right, and 9 times 3 is 27, so 27Z cube is equal to 125. I'm sure that's 9 times 20, 5 times 25 is 125, such that ZQ alone, divide both sides by the coefficient of cube root of cube of Z, which is 125 divided by 27. Okay, we have now that 125 divided by 27, Z alone is going to be the cube root of 125 divided by 27. That will give us the final answer. Let's just fulfill all righteous. Cube root 125 divided by 27 is 4.629. That's 4.63. So 4.63. So Z, remember this is Z and not 2. Z is now the cube root of 4.63. So if you don't want to waste much time, this also implies 4.63 raised to power inverse of this, which is 1 over 3. And this implies that 4.63 raised to power 0.33. And when we do this, we'll get our final answer, right? So this is 1 over 3 is, let me check if I'm still right, 0.3333, okay? So then 4.63 raised to power 0.333, 4.63, 4.63, I can see the raised to power function. I don't have any calculator here, but that should be the expected final answer, okay? Then the next one says, the next question in line says, the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 1440 degrees. That's 1440 degrees. Then how many sides does the polygon have? Find the size of each exterior angle, okay? The terminologies I might be using here, you know, backing up, I'm a science teacher, of course, but the person that's supposed to handle this math did not come. So I'm a science student, of course. We know mathematics. So that's why you might be hearing me calling square root, root this, or this. It's been long I use those terms, okay? I use them when doing analysis and research. And then before we continue, just remember you are on with Majestic tutorials, okay? Where we'll give you the best in all the subjects. Please subscribe and share this video and ask your questions down there in the comment section. You are also informed that if you are looking for your maths kit, as you can see here, the Easy World have a perfect maths kit, maths teaching kit that will bring learning of mathematics to real life and no more abstract, okay? So you place order for this thing. Let's see.
Help your students overcome math struggles. Yes, we're turning mathematics into fun with these realistic models packed inside this extraordinary math teaching kit. Designed not just for students, but specially tailored for schools, this kit is your one-stop solution to make classroom teaching practical, engaging, and unforgettable. And guess what? The price is unbelievably affordable compared to the value and quality of what you're getting. Are you looking for an all-in-one instructional material for teaching mathematics in nursery, primary, or secondary school? Worry no more. Sir Majesty Easy World Science is here again, this time with a powerful and complete math teaching kit designed to transform how mathematics is taught. Say goodbye to abstract teaching and lay a strong engineering and empirical foundation for your students with this extraordinary set of tools. This kit doesn't just talk the talk, it walks the walk. Let's open the magic box and see what's inside. You'll be amazed at how practical, fun, and unforgettable math lessons can become. Fraction kit. Fractions can be terrifying until you show your students this colorful snap-together model. Teach equivalent fractions, addition and subtraction with ease. Classroom fix. Confused about why half plus third isn't in it? This kit will show them visually. Fractions shouldn't divide your students' attention. They should multiply their understanding. 2. Geometry sets. Solid shapes. From cones to spheres. Let students handle real 3D shape. Adults would wish they learned with this speed magician. 4. Subtraction, all simplified. Slide the beads, count, and learn. Classroom fix. When they think 1,205 is the same as 1,250, time to slide in the abacus. Even adults would wish they learned with this speed magician. 4. Oral practice unit.
Alright, this math teaching kit is very rich, very much rich and majestic, of course. You can place order to get this math teaching kit to make the learning of mathematics not abstract. Most things we are doing, because we don't understand them well, when they say addition, some still don't know why the fact that 5 plus 10 is 15. They don't even know the basics of counting. You can see your abacus there. I can mention if you are doing your construction. Majestic tutorials, Majestic Easy World, of course, I supply all these things, okay? So some of you still don't know the reason why we say that 5 plus 10 is 15. That is only if you are counting in these things to help you, because what you are doing in mathematics, that's why most people that teach mathematics, it shouldn't be done in an abstract way. It is very much easy something to understand. If they say 5 plus 10, what we say is 15. Watch me. This is only because we are counting in the packets of 10. If you say 5 plus 10, how many packets of 10 are in that thing you counted? 1. Remember how many? 5. And that's why it's 15. If they say 10 plus 10, what's the answer? This is only when you're counting in packets of 10. How many packets of 10? 1, 2. That is 2. Remember what? 0. And that makes it 20. Alright? But if they now change this to 10 plus 13, this is how many 10s are inside here? 2 10s. Remember that way. 2 packets of 10, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the packet. So these things look minor, but the basics, like most of you are using constant pi as well, which we might use probably in this our classes. You don't know how come it is. So they will help you out very much well, so that you don't learn science in abstract anymore. Okay, looking at the next question. Thank you guys for tuning in. The next question says the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon. Remember, regular polygon is trying to emphasize that all the sides are what? Equal. All the sides are equal. So, it is not having one side that is bigger than the other side, but they are all equal. They are giving us the sum of the interior angles, and I think these are the information we need. We now move solution. So in this case, we have the formula that we're going to be using is the one that said 180 brackets n minus 2 is equal to the sum of the interior angles, which has been given to us. All right. So if you like, you can make it very simple. Make n, because this is a group, n equal to 1440 divided by 180, making this subject of the formula. So 1440 divided by 180, 1440 divided by 180 is 8. So we have that n minus 2 is 8, such that n alone is now 8 plus 2, which gives you 10 in a very simple way. So the number of sides is 10. If you like to expand this, you still get the same answer. Maybe to expand this thing, maybe that's 180n minus 180 times 2 is 360, which will give you 140. So 180n will now be equal to 140 plus 360. Then divide both sides by 180. You will get your 10 straight away. So 1440 plus 360 divided by 180. At least this one is 1, this one is 2. No. This is plus, not I cannot do this. This is addition. I was handling this plus as if it is a multiplication. So 1440 plus 360 is 1440 plus 360 is 1800 divided by 180, which will give us 10. So the answer, the number of sides for the regular polygon is 10. N is 10 here. The next question says, find the value of each exterior angle. Find the value of each exterior angle. The value of each exterior angle, sum of exterior angles is equal to 360. Very simple. So just know that sum of exterior angles, since they are regular polygon, exterior angles of a regular polygon is equal to 360. And we already have the number of sides. So the number of sides, they have 10 sides, of course. So we're simply going to divide 360 by 10. So which implies that the total angle is 360. The number of sides is 10. So it becomes just 360 divided by 10, which gives you 36 degrees. That's the angle. Okay. Then we move to the next one, which says the length of a chord AB in the diagram below is 12 cm with center 0. Find the value of theta, which should be here. So this should be the theta I'm talking about, and this the shaded part, of course. So how many? Okay, the length, find the value of theta, then the radius of the circle. The radius of the circle, calculate the area of the shaded region, correct to three significant figures. What type of triangle is triangle A, This is using circle theorem. We will know the best theory to consult here. If you are on watching, give this video thumbs up please and ask your questions. If there is anyone that is still confusing you, you just ask questions and get the answers right away. That's the joy of joining this live stream. If you are there, you can say something. Alright, remember you are on with the Majestic Tutorials, the home of Majestic teachings. We don't support any form of we don't give you fish, but we'll teach you how to catch fish by yourself. So looking at the circle theory we are going to apply here, says that the angle subtended by what? By an arc at the what? Center of a circle is twice the angle subtended by the same arc of the circumference. Yeah. So looking up here, we are seeing that 30 subtends this one. So automatically theta is 30 times 2. So we don't need to talk much about that. Just angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So just angle at the center is twice angle at circumference. I just say angle at the center, and since it's the center, automatically whatever like this, oh, this is already the radius, is twice the angle at the circumference, the one touching the circumference. So looking at this, to calculate the value of theta is just equal to 2 times 30, which gives you 60 degrees. All right, and having seen 60 degrees, the next question says that we should find the radius of the circle. The radius, we can now map out this angle we have, or use any of the angle. We can use the larger angle or the smaller angle. It will still give us the same answer. But in this case, let's use the 60 degrees, and here is 12 cm. Of course, this is already showing us a possibility of equilateral triangle. Possibility of having equilateral triangle, because 60, for one side to be 60, you know what it means. Okay, let me draw it well. Okay. All right. So looking at this, the angle here is 60, and the length here is 12 cm. They are now telling us to find this r and r. You can use cosine rule or use sine rule. Cosine rule or sine rule can work out here. Either you use sine rule or cosine rule, but I think sine rule will be easier. Looking at this over this is equal to this angle here or this angle here, and automatically for these two sides, this is radius, r equal to r. If r is equal to r, the base angles are equal. So finding the base angles, we just say 80 minus 60, which will give you 120, and because there are 2 in number, which will be divided by 2, which is 60, and this is giving us equilateral triangle and also isosceles triangle. So 60, 60, 60. So using sine rule is already, since their angles are equal, their sides will also be equal. So equilateral triangle is a triangle with 3 equal sides. So we say sine rule, just to show your working, you say 12 over sine 60 is equal to r over sine 60. So when you cross multiply, you find out that r sine 60 is equal to, when you still divide both sides by sine 60, and that makes the job easier. R still remains 12 cm. Or you can use cosine rule, and the cosine rule is still the same thing, but it might confuse you more here. You are advised to use cosine rule. Use this sine rule that I used. Okay. Remember, the reason why I chose that the base angle must be equal, because they say r, and this angle is subtended at the center. Okay. So, but the best thing to do here is, the question I said we can use any of them. No, we can only use this smaller one. I would have made mistake if I'm using the angle that touches the circumference. We must use the angle at the center, because if it is at the center, each side is the radius. And because the two sides are equal, we are seeing isosceles triangle. And when two sides are equal, the two base angles must also be equal. And when the angle here is 60, automatically this is 60, 60, giving us equilateral triangle. If you like, you still use cosine rule, which is telling us that c square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab sine c. You will still arrive at the same thing, okay? We go to, I believe I'm doing justice to this. It's been long, I stopped doing mathematics, but I think I'm picking interest to that. Again, they say calculate the area of the shaded region. The area of the shaded region, that's here. For us to calculate this shaded region, we need to find the area of the sector itself, okay? And the area of the sector of a circle says that theta over 360 times pi r squared. Area of the shaded side, or shaded, is area of the shaded region should be equal to area of the sector minus area of the triangle, because there is a triangle inside that sector. So area of the shaded region should be equal to area of the sector minus area of the triangle. So maybe we'll get that of triangle, which is easy. Area of triangle is half base times height, of course, equal to half base times height. And look at the triangle in question. So looking at this, it has been specified that from this is the height, of course, and they are of equal side. Here is 12, so half of 12 here is 6. So that we are looking for height. We can now use Pythagoras theory to find our h. Using Pythagoras theory, we have that h square is equal to 12 square minus 6 square. So that h square, this is the hypothesis, the adjacent, and the opposite, depending on. Now, we have that 144, that is the square of 12 minus 36, which is square of 6. So h alone will now be square root of the answer we get at the end. So 44 minus 36 using the calculator. 144 minus 36, please. If I make unnecessary mistake, is 108. 108. So h is equal to square root of 108. And square root of 108 is no, I needed I have to go and get calculator. I don't know what's wrong with the soft one I'm having here. I can't. Where are those signs now? Okay, I got them now. Yeah, there won't be any need of going to find another calculator. Is over here. So we are looking at square. All right, welcome back. Please, there was a little network issue. I was not connecting. So we are back. All right. Remember to bring in your contribution where necessary. So we are finding the height. They're trying to find the area of the triangle. So we have 10.39 as the height, 10.39. We have gotten the height, so that the area will now be, 10.39. So our area will now be half base, which is half of the base is 12. Half of 12 times 10.39, which will give us 6 times 10.39. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. I've been having some issues, but welcome back. I think it's fixed. It's fixed. All right. We look at this as 62.35 is the area of the triangle. That is the area of this triangle. Remember, this whole place is the sector. AOB is the sector, but inside that sector we have a triangle. We have found the area of that sector, area of the triangle, sorry. It is now time to focus on finding the area of the sector, so we can do so area of the sector of a circle is equal to theta over 360 times pi r square. So looking at this, we have theta here is 60 over 360 times 22. They told us to take pi as 22 over 7 times 12 squared, because the radius is 12. All right. So we have that 360, this is this, 6 is 1, 6 is 6. So we have 1 over 6 times 22 over 7 times 144. So we just have 22 times 144 divided by 42, because 6 times 7 is 42. So we have 1 times 22 times 144, all divided by 42, I guess, because 6 times 7 is 42. So we have now 22 times 144 give us 3,168. So we have continuation 3,168 divided by 42 divided by 42 is 75.43. 75.43. 75.43. So the area of the shaded part, that is here, is now area of the shaded region should now be equal to area of the sector, which is 75.43, minus area of the triangle in the sector, which is 62.35. Please, 62.35 minus 62.35. So we say minus 62.35 minus 62.35, giving us 13.08. 13.08 cm square. 13.08 cm square is our final answer. All right. Looking at the other questions, they now say calculate the area of the shaded region. The next one is, okay, correct to 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3. So I'm there. They say, what type of triangle is angle AOB? What type of triangle is that? The type of triangle is automatically equilateral triangle. Why is it equilateral? Equilateral because the three sides are equal. Okay, equilateral triangle. Don't confuse equilateral triangle with isosceles triangle. Isosceles and equilateral. Remember that all equilateral triangle are actually isosceles triangle. I hope I'm making sense here for someone listening. It's just like saying that all females are humans, but not all humans are females. Yes, it's correct. Thank you guys for liking. For those that are joining us, do well to give this video thumbs up and also share with your friends. Okay, the equilateral triangle, I said all equilateral triangles are actually isosceles. Isosceles triangle is just a triangle with two sides equal. For you to be equilateral, it means that the three sides must be equal. But what isosceles need is just for two sides to be equal. Looking at this is 12, here is 6 plus 6 is 12. This is equilateral because these two sides are equal. You call it isosceles. Because these two sides and these sides are equal, they are also isosceles. But they say, what type of triangle is AOB? Your answer is equilateral triangle. The reason is because the three sides are what? Equal. All right. They now say they gave us this equation. I will have to get the original, but before then, remember you are on with the Majestic tutorials. We help you to catch the fish by yourself. We teach you the best we can to help you succeed academically. And again, we also provide teaching aids. So these are the questions we say will be taking us. We'll come back to solve some of the questions here. Right? Anyone we don't solve, we will actually maybe do it later in the night today. Your job is to stay on as we do this revision for you. Okay. So remember, it's the Maths General paper 3. Endeavor to read questions very well in the question paper. If you go there, we have done this, so you guys online are doing well. At least nothing is challenging to you. That's great. So we look at this expression. So I'm going to you see, this is 100% revision class. Okay, so endeavor to make sure you ask your questions to get clarified. If there is any topic in mathematics you are finding difficult, you can also let us know about that. All right, then you can also order for your math teaching kit. Of course, they are available for you. If you make contact, you get this math teaching kit. It contains many things that will help you understand mathematics. Abstract learning of math, say no to that. All right, I've displayed this before. I'm showing you. See the contents. It makes learning fun. These abacus, both horizontal and vertical abacus. Okay, even when you have to relate, this is for protractor and a pair of compass for your construction. Amazing things. See this. This is what we use to teach volume. You have seen the area of a cone and relating it with that of a cylinder. This kit will demonstrate it live for you to understand why we say that there is a relation between the volume of a cone and that of a volume of a cylinder from which the cone was made. All right. So it's also fun. We can see clock for timing. This is for measuring angles accurately. Okay. This is capacity unit. Very interesting aspect. So let's go back and do our solving. But this is very nice for schools. You can place your order and you get this and any other teaching aids you need. Well, because as teachers at schools lack teaching aid, and most things that should be demonstrated are actually handled abstract instead of showing them real. You see, with this you can know what radius is all about. This type of kit, this one you're seeing, know the rotations and do your calculations well, knowing fully well that this is no more abstract. All right, and with this is a simple counter to help your student count well. Now this is geometric board. Under here you can connect shapes. So this math teaching kit is very rich. So let's go back to the solving. I have to go and bring the original question. There are some questions skipped. Remember, this is a 100% revision class. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, looking at the original question, we have to solve it. This is the correct thing. Solve the equation 27 raised to power 2 this. You are going to just make sure you put in the same base. Okay, put it in the same base. I'm not seeing any of your comments. I believe you are not cut off from the comments, or neither am I cut off. So we are, let me divide the screen so we see what we are solving. We are told to solve 27 raised to power 2x minus 1 times 1 over 3 raised to power minus raised to power minus 3x bracket of minus 3x plus 2 equal to 9 raised to power x plus 3. Okay, we are good to expand our note. So this is the thing we're going to solve. We will make all of them stay in the same base, and as you watch where 3 can go, 3 raised to power 3 should be 27. Yes, because 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 9 times 3 is 27. So this is 3 raised to power 3 bracket 2x minus 1 times this 3 will now be 3 raised to power minus 1 bracket. We're going to expand this. Remember, there is minus sign already here. Minus 3x minus plus is still minus. Okay, this is minus this minus 2 equal to 3 raised to power 2 for this one bracket x plus 3. By doing this, we now have that 6 multiply out 6x minus 3 times becomes a plus in this case, because they are already in the same base, so they can now, the 3 will go. We now work with what we have here, plus minus 1 times minus 3 becomes what? 3x plus 2 to give us 2x plus 3. So we can now solve collecting like terms. Let x come together. 6x plus 3x minus 3 plus 2 is equal to 2x plus 3. 6x plus 3x, this comes here. We have to be careful here. Okay, this comes here minus 2x equal to 3 plus equal to 3 minus 2 plus 3. Remember, here is 3 already. Oh, that's a problem, because this is 2x. This should be 6, please, because I have to multiply out. Imagine. Then we have 3. It cannot be 3 again. That should be 6 now. Sorry for the little mistake. That should be 6. Remember, I'm not your regular math teacher. I just handle this to help you out. The one that's supposed to handle this couldn't make it. So I just said, let me try. I hope I'm trying. If you're watching this, it's been a while. I handled maths, but I was so good in it that time. But I decided to follow chemistry, biology, biochemistry. Okay. So let me do the right thing here. I had a minus, this is plus 3 minus 2. That's what it should be. So that 6x plus 3x, pardon any of my little error, will be 9 minus 2. Such that 6 plus 3 plus is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7x. So that 7x is equal to, automatically, 7. X is going to be 1. So x in this case is plus 1. That is the solution to that. Okay. Then we look at, bring your questions along, please. There is a question I skipped here. The interest, that's a very simple one. Find the principal that we earn 29,880 in 15 years at 3% per annum. Since they have said 3% per annum, that means we don't need to divide by 12. It's already in years. That's what they are asking us. Then let's solve it. To solve this, as usual, we have that interest is equal to principal times time times rate all over 100. Right from primary school, principal times rate times time all over 100, and they have given us the interest, which is 29,880. They are now asking us to find principal, which is, we'll make P the square from rate is 3 times time is 15 years. Remember, they say per annum. If they say per month, that's where we need to convert this year to month. Divide by 100. And this automatically shows 3 times 15 is 45p is equal to 29,880 times 100. So that p alone, you divide both sides by 45, divide both sides by 45. So that the principal needed is 29,880 divided by 45. 29,8 into 0. Okay, divided by 45. Provided I am not making mistakes here. $29,800 beg if I can solve 29,880. Okay, 29,880 into 3 divide by 45 is 66,400. So the principal should be 66,400. That's the correct answer. So the next one is we look at the question. The next one should be, I think we've handled all these ones here initially. The beginning, waiting for your own questions if you have them. Differentiate 2x squared. This is now further mass. Oh boy. Oh boy. This I no go wrong from this one. Differentiate 2x squared plus 5 raised to power 4 with respect to x. With respect to x. Looking at this, We have the external and interior units squares there, so we can equally say that this is the same thing as y, or we can call this whole expression u raised to power 4, of course, such that the differentiation of it should be normal. If we have the little I can remember n, we have x a raised to power n, differentiation of it should be n x a raised to power n minus 1. So our n here is 4. So this should be differentiated by saying that y is now equal to, for the u, is going to be 4 bracket u. Remember, we use the internal entity here all as u. So everything here is what we used as u. Then raised to power 4 minus 1. Okay, so we have that the y here should be 4 bracket 2x square plus 5 raised to power 3. Okay, the little I can remember, but I'm going to do it, I'm sure, because it's maths. The simplest science subject is mathematics, even though students think is the hardest. Maybe you are not being taught with teaching aids, which I've advertised here on this channel. So you tell your teacher to get this aid for you. It will facilitate your understanding of the mathematics. All right. So please, to help explain this, I have mentioned this differentiation. We are going to use chain rule, because chain rule is what we use in this differentiation. Okay, I'm battling with it, but I'm going to get it because it's been a while. All right. Now you know that this raised to power 4 is not actually a simple raised to power. It's a composite something. Where is it? What is it? So it's the whole thing here raised to power. So, but when we hear simple powers, like this 2x square is a simple power because the 2 is simple, but this 4 is guiding, is a composite function. That is a function raised to the power, but the base is in another function, of course. Then using the chain rule, I've explained it. I've gotten to get the y dx, which is the differentiation. The y dx will be 4 bracket 2x squared plus 5 raised to power 3. So please, this is plus 5. So we can now continue. If it is my our former presido, in the continuation, following it step by step, we have that there should be, this is further mass. Are you trying to stalk me here? Who sent me come this live stream? Okay, the y, the x is going to give us, we also have the y dx and the u, d du. Yeah, the y dx should now be equal to, I'm doing, what I'm doing now is but I can't teach you the wrong thing. That's just the thing. Only that I will use that old time memorizing now instead of giving a clearer explanation. Then we have the d dx, which will give us the same thing, 2x squared plus 5. The derivative of any constant is 0, of course. So when we look at this, if the derivative of any constant is 0, like 5 is 0, then the derivative of 2x squared should be, now what I did is just the same thing, where using the chain rule will be 2 times 2x raised to power 2 minus 1. Yes, I want to find the derivative of the whole thing here. I think it's coming back to me now by the chain rule, which I said that if you have n, you have let me use any other letter. You have xa raised to power n, that the derivative should be n x a raised to power n minus 1. So in this case, we have 2. So we'll still say 2 times the 2 that is here, then raised to power 2 minus 1, all right? So we find out that the derivative of this whole function will now be 2 times 2 is 4. So we have nothing but just 4. 4x raised to power 1, which is the same thing as 4x. Yes. So the answer will become now 2x squared, that's the y dx, times derivative of x plus 5 all raised to power 3 times 4x, and 4 times 4 is automatically 16. So I think I have survived this wala. That's it. I think that's, if you do your multiplication, you get 16 and you get the bracket. So the final answer should be 16x 4 by 4 bracket 2x squared plus 5 raised to power 3. The little I can still remember. But if you find it faulty, pardon me, we go to the other objective questions. Please, for those that are on, subscribe to this channel and share this video to help others. Remember, no form of malpractice is encouraged. What I do here is that I teach you. I might not give you fish, but I teach you how to catch your own fish by yourself. So over here, we can see some experiment that should be visiting Sa Majesty Easy World Science channel. Remember, this is an affiliation extension of Sa Majesty Easy World Science channel. But here is Majestic Tutorial. Will handle all the subjects. We will also help you in agriculture, all those major arts and science subjects. That's what this channel is created for. Then if you want to learn sciences, tricks, maybe during this graduation, you want to show some of something like this to your guests, entertain them with an experiment like this, you visit Sa Majesty's World Science channel, or you can equally contact me. I'll guide you well. The number for the thing is there. That's our physics teacher for this channel. We also have the mathematics, the English, all the subjects you needed, even how to generate electricity from simple chemical reaction. This will be like wow for your guests during this graduation to advertise your school. So visit Sa Majesty's World Science channel, please. It's an extension of the Majestic Tutorial. That channel will handle now experiments like this. That's what you will find there. And over here, we'll come here to give you the tutorials, the theoretical work, okay? Even though our people love theory more than practical. So we want to serve you well. If you need theory, you come to Majestic Tutorial, the way to pass your exam. Then if you want to learn science and apply them, you go to Sa Majesty Easy World. Okay, thank you guys for still tuning in. We go to the major thing we are. So this our math kit is very important so that you don't learn math in abstract. Please, you can equally buy this for your family. Yes, for yourself is worth it. All right. So to place order, this is the right number to chart. So we are moving on to the next. Yeah, these other theory questions which have that y is partly constant and partly varies as x when y is 2, x is 3, and when y is 5, x is 6. Find the relationship between x and y. It is similar to what we have solved before. Your job is to make sure you make correct scientific statements before you could go ahead. Don't just say what is wrong. Variation